Hi, I'm Lucy, and I am April's INDY warrior.
And I am Nikki. I'm Lucy Ann's mom. Yeah. On October 15th, Lucy woke up and I was getting her ready for school, and she dropped her shirt, and she bent over to pick up her shirt, and there was a lump larger than an egg protruding out of her shoulder blade. And I realized that wasn't a normal looking lump. So I called my niece, who is a doctor, and sent her some pictures and asked her what she thought. Like, is this something I should be freaking out about? Because I tend to overreact sometimes when it comes to medical things. So she said I would bring her in if it's something that's sudden. And so we brought her in that morning. I called her in from school, and we were in the doctor by like 9:30 that morning. And the doctor that we saw wasn't her primary, but she called her primary into the room and was like, I need you to look at this. As her primary doctor had just had her physical like 2 weeks prior and had the scoliosis test. So she wanted to make sure that he hadn't seen something of, and there was nothing there 2 weeks earlier. There was nothing there the night before even. But she had him come in, and they both said that she needed to have an ultrasound done immediately. And they did an ultrasound, and they confirmed that it was some sort of tumor, that it wasn't like fatty tissue type thing. They believed it was a tumor. And they sent us to Children's the next morning. So the next morning we went to Children's, and she had a day full of tests, lots of tests, MRI, CT, X-ray, I think were the main tests they did that day. And when they got done, they said the same thing. It looks like it's probably some kind of tumor, more than likely a benign tumor. They thought it was a schwannoma, which is a type of fingerly looking tumor that they thought possibly. By Tuesday of the next week, we were having her first surgery, so it went really, really quick. And when the surgeon got done with her surgery after, he said that he was 95% sure that it was benign and that it was just nothing really to worry about, but obviously they have to send a pathology and confirm that it was benign. And I want to say by late that week, they called and said, we don't think it's benign. We're not sure. We don't know what this is. This is something that we have never seen before. We're sending it to Mayo. We're gonna, but we need to get in and do another surgery because we do have positive margins. So about 7 days later, we had the second surgery. And at that time, same thing, they hadn't fully got a diagnosis yet for us. It took a while for Mayo to figure this out, and once we finally got the diagnosis, it's called Malignant Myoepithelioma, which is a high-grade soft tissue sarcoma carcinoma. And what it does is it has the ability to skip to different layers of the body, where sarcomas typically stay in one layer, carcinomas stay in another. Hers can kind of move around. So when they got the pathology from the second surgery, they saw her tumor, and this margin right here was clear, but this little piece they took right over here was positive, which means that it skipped and moved, and so that was concerning, obviously. So within, I don't know, another 7-8 days, she had surgery. It was as soon as she started to heal, we had another surgery, and then they went in and they took her, and that was her third and final resection. So they went all the way down to the bone, all the way to the tissue, and took that out. And they didn't really know a lot about it, so we had to go to the Mayo for second opinions. And the only information they have on her type of cancer was a study that was done in Italy on 7 children that have this exact type of cancer. This Dr. Gianni did this study, and all 7 children had the exact same chemotherapy plan, the exact same proton beam therapy radiation. And after 3 years, all the children were well and survived it. So after lots of discussions with the Mayo Clinic, they actually were able to get in contact with this Italian doctor, and our doctors at Children's, they decided that this is an aggressive plan, but that was the plan we were going to move forward with, is doing the 4 rounds of chemo inpatient. So she did all 4 rounds at Children's in Minneapolis, and we were 6 days in the hospital, and then we're home for 14 days, 6 days in the hospital, and for 4 full rounds. But she's just completed her last round, so we're done with that, which is fantastic. And then after that was done, we did have to go to the Mayo Clinic. We elected to have an ovary removed for preservation for her future, for hormones and things that she may need down the road. And then they placed her port in her chest. And then after that, we started chemo 7 days after that. So it was just very, very quick when, they just move quickly. So now we are at the point where we're just waiting to start her proton beam therapy. So on Monday we go in and she has another MRI CT just to make sure that they're not finding anything else before we start our radiation therapy at Mayo Clinic. Then we will be heading to Mayo for 5 weeks. She has 25 proton beam treatments down there, and we'll just pray like crazy that this is the end of it, and she does fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about your shirt? Why are you the Unicorn Squad?
So my cancer is really rare, and we were joking about that I have the unicorn of cancers, and my neighbors got these shirts made for us, and now we kind of became the Unicorn Squad.
What is something maybe that you want to tell other kids who have cancer? Things maybe that have helped you get through it, or just maybe something you want to tell them?
That it can be scary, but in the end, you're strong and you're a warrior and you can do anything, and cancer can't beat anybody.